what is this podcast about? It probably would help if you don't chew into the mic.
My name is Libby.
My name is Luke.
In this new episode.
This
new season.
And we are going to be focusing completely on weddings.
We are, in fact, the Wedding Pirates.
There's no other podcast like this. I've looked. I've checked.
And we have a cat. Her name is Stella.
We want to share all the secrets when it comes to weddings.
The one where we talk. Wedding edition. Hello, and welcome back to the one where we talk, Wedding Edition, where we talk about all things weddings and debunking myths and telling truths and just, revealing things that not every vendor is willing to reveal.
Mm-hmm.
So, today we are talking about lies
To brides.
to brides.
Meaning lies that brides are told.
Yeah.
But that didn't ring as well.
Lies to brides.
Lies to brides.
Right.
There's a few lies that I want to cover here. And here's the thing. These lies are not going to sit well with a lot of people. But that's what we do. We want the truth. We want to tell what every vendor does want to tell you is that your day will be perfect. And as much as I want to tell you that, perfection doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Nowhere on the face of the
Nowhere
planet
on
does
the face of the
perfection exist.
So the first lie is that when a vendor says your day will be perfect. Now, can you demand perfection? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can. But
You can demand
as much as you want.
No, you can make demands, and you can expect. You can have high expectations for your vendors to perform, or to do their job.
Literally just to do their job.
Like, for DJs to play the music when they're supposed to play the music, to play the right music, to make the right announcements, to announce the right fucking bride and groom's names.
And then, so it's things like that.
Yeah.
Can you expect perfection? No. Can you strive for perfection? Yes. The idea is that you can get as close as possible. And you do that by, I'm a very preventative person. So I think that's what makes me good. That's what makes me love weddings so much, because a wedding day is something that you can plan out.
Mm-hmm.
You can plan for all the things that will go wrong. You can plan for all the things that will go right. You could have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, all at once. You could have as many plans as you want. But at the end of the day, I need to tell brides and grooms that, hey, perfection doesn't exist. If you read contracts, there's some very unfortunate articles that I've never had to use. But there's unfortunate articles like, hey, download your photos. Download them right away. Because if you don't, I'm not obligated to keep the entire album.
Yeah.
You haven't paid me for storage.
Mm-hmm.
And we do a lot of photo shoots every year.
Yeah.
Storage isn't free. Or, hey, if I get sick and I can't get to your wedding, I have to give you a refund.
Which, knock on wood, has never happened.
Yeah, this never happened. Or, I haven't had or somebody losing data. Your camera fries.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of that happening. Technology has kind of gone far beyond that. The day that a camera fries, that camera company is getting sued.
Yeah, right. I mean, like, I try to make, I try to ease my brides, especially brides, because they tend to be the ones that, are a bit more of like,
Worried?
My day needs to be perfect, and if this doesn't go right, like, I make sure when I show up on a wedding day that I just say, hey, like, I'm here to help as much as possible, and if there's something that's not going to plan on your wedding day, like, let me know, and I will try and help in any way possible to make that thing happen for you.
Yeah. But things like, it might rain.
Yeah. Like, I can't do anything about that.
There's nothing we can do about that. But, we could still make you look dope.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My goal in life is to do a photo shoot of a bride and groom out in the rain. Like, full-on downpouring rain.
Yeah.
I would love to do that, but I've never had a bride and groom willing to do that. They're always like, no, I don't want to get wet.
Have you seen The Notebook?
It's so sexy. Gosh.
Oh my gosh. That's what the cameraman said when he was filming The Notebook.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But no, and that's really hard to say because, you know, I know a lot of other vendors probably like their jaw would drop like, how could you say that they can't have a perfect day? No, I didn't say they can't have a perfect day. I say you can strive for perfection, but perfection is a process that you will never achieve. That's literally the definition. If you look up the definition of perfection, as a matter of fact, I should fact check myself on this. Hold on. Let's look up the definition of perfection. Perfection. Definition. A condition, state, or quality of being free or as free as possible from all flaws or defects. Okay, so perfection.
But flaws
is not
on a wedding day are just, that's what makes wedding days so like special and unique, is the flaws that do happen, unless they're like super tragic flaws.
And also,
but usually
everybody has their own definition of perfection too. So this is perfection is an idea that lives in your head, and everybody in this entire world, I would guarantee you, has a different idea of what perfection looks like.
Right.
And so keeping all that in mind, your perfection is going to look different from your groom or your bride. If you're a groom who's a perfectionist and you're a bride who is not, that's something you guys are going to have to compromise on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we did a wedding where, you know, where's the groom? It's 15 minutes before his first look. He shows up wearing basketball shorts and a T-shirt, carrying his suit with a Mountain Dew in the other hand. And he says, hey, does anybody know where my tie is? You know, that's not perfection. And then but the bride was a perfectionist. She was excellent on her wedding day. I would maybe argue that maybe she was perfect on her wedding day. Maybe she thought she was. But was everything around her? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
There's never going to be a perfect day. Even if you believe that you're achieving perfection in the moment, you have to remember there is non-perfection happening around you.
Yep. So the next one of lies to brides is also, every vendor cares.
This is really going to hit hard too. And this all comes down to...
It's really easy to spot a vendor who does not care.
Very easy. And because they just don't. There's no effort. There's vendors who literally just don't care.
That's like telling someone, hey, there's something in the bathroom broken. What? I don't know, something in the bathroom.
Like, what in the bathroom is broken? I don't know how that relates.
It's just like you said, it's really easy to tell them when a vendor doesn't care. How can you tell? You can just tell. It's really easy.
It's usually in their mannerisms. Well, but honestly, it's actually just talking to them. If I talk to a DJ, I'm going to find out really quick if he cares or not. Or there's actually a difference between a DJ that actually cares and one that's just talking.
Well, also, too, you can tell if a vendor doesn't care. If they're not asking for your opinion, if they're not communicating with you through the entire process. So, like, from, like, trying to book this vendor to the end of your wedding day, if they just didn't communicate with you, if they didn't want to talk with you, if they don't ask you any questions, if they just do their own thing without asking you questions, I feel like a vendor who cares is going to care about your input and is going to care about your opinion on specific matters. Like, hey, if you don't like this song that I'm playing on the DJ floor, like, come tell me and I'll change it to something else. Like, a vendor that is willing to be flexible and change things up if you want things changed up. Like,
or there's something I love that you do on a wedding day I guess we both do it, is when we ask, is there anything else that you want? Yeah. What else do you want me to capture? Yeah. Tell me. Yeah. What do you want? I want to do it for you. And if you have just some weird idea, like, oh, can we do this weird thing? Like, yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay.
The first thing that I do when I show up on a wedding day is I go up to the bride and I give her a hug. Mm-hmm. Unless she's getting her makeup done. That's harder to do. Or her hair done. But, because I don't want to interrupt that. But yeah, I make it my point to like make sure I give the bride a hug, because 90% of the brides that we've worked with in the past are like so stressed and they're just like anxiety. Anxiety.
And brides always let you know. I've heard multiple brides tell you that you are their rock. Because you're there, you're listening, you communicate that you are listening.
I make eye contact.
They ask you to do something and you get it done.
Yeah.
They see the way that you operate. You are there. And I could see like a level in a bride. They're sitting there, or the bride and groom. They're sitting there, and then they're like, oh my gosh, where's the photographer, or where's Luke and Libby? Where I don't know where they. And then immediately, like I can see that they're looking for us, and then I'll make eye contact with them, or you'll make eye contact with them, or they'll spot you, and then all of a sudden they just get happy. That right there shows that we've communicated to them that we care.
Yeah.
We're here for you on this day.
Yeah.
We're not just vendors. We care.
Yeah, and our job on a wedding day, it's like, yeah, we're there to take photos, but like I've fetched food for a bride and groom.
Oh yeah.
And I've helped pin in veils, and I do maybe 50% of the fluffing of the train, because
I pin on all the boutonnieres and tie ties.
Yeah, you do all that if they need help with that.
They do.
I'd say a lot of them do, yes. But yeah, like we care about our jobs. We care about our brides and grooms. We're not just there to get pictures and video of your wedding day. Like, we are there to help your day go as smoothly as possible. And if there's a vendor that's there that isn't there to do that for you, then I'm sorry that they're there.
And that's the lie that you're being told, is that every vendor cares.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are vendors who do just see this as a job. They hate that they're at your wedding at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Or midnight.
Yeah, or midnight. They're complaining. They're leaving as soon as the clock strikes, 8:30, when they're contracted to. They don't even say bye. They pack up and leave. Or they're at the vendor table and they're complaining. And we know this because we're a videography and photography team. We don't always get booked for both. Sometimes we just get booked for one or the other. And it's always a gamble on the day of figuring out, is this vendor I'm going to be working with today, do they actually care? Do they care as much as I do? I would say it's 50%. It's half and half, which are good and bad odds. Because you have 50% chance that you're going to get a vendor that doesn't care, and you have 50% that you get one that does care. And how you work with those odds is you vet your vendors.
Yeah.
Ask them questions. Ask them why they love what they do.
Does your vendor give you their personal phone number? Does your vendor ask you questions? Does your vendor say, hey, if you need anything from me, please reach out?
Or I recently had a bride, I asked him hey, so what are you expecting out of your product? You want photos and you want video. That's what you've told me so far. But what do you want to be delivered?
Right.
And then they say, I don't know. I actually don't know what I want. Oh my word. I don't know
I
haven't thought about that. I actually don't know what I want. And I said, well, I'm not going to tell you what you want. I'm going to help you figure out what you want.
Yeah.
And that right there, oh my gosh, they went from, I'm kind of shopping around, I'm not really sure, to, oh my word, I want to book you guys.
Yeah.
Because I've just communicated, I'm going to hear out all your ideas. I'm going to do my very best to give you exactly what you want. And I'm not going to tell you that your ideas are bad. I'm just going to be honest with you whether I can make them happen or not, because maybe I don't match the vision that you're seeing.
Right. Yeah. That's, yeah.
And there's a lot to be said
Very
about
true.
that. This is a very common lie. Has made the list because it's very important. We talk about it a lot. Your DJ is the last vendor you book. False. I would say
wrong.
Yeah, wrong. Wrong. I would say that, I don't know what order, but it's definitely not the last.
I don't know where it is in the list of how you should book, but it's definitely not last.
If it were, personally, if it were me, if I was planning a wedding, I would do venue, photographer, videographer, DJ, and then from there I do other stuff like flowers, food, and I don't know, horses. I don't know, whatever. All the weird things.
Yeah, the final details, if you want to rent a car for your exit, or if you want a company to do your sparkler send off with the big sparklers, or if you want to rent tuxes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like those are the ones that.
Because you got to think of the
Or like-
supply and demand.
Yeah.
There are very few good DJs.
Yeah.
There are very few good videographers.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to think of the supply and demand of how many videographers are you in love with. Say you've made a list of 5 and you've probably looked at 100. Those odds aren't really good. You probably want to put videographers at the top of your list. Same with, whereas in photographers, you've looked at 300 and you've found 50 that you like. Those odds are a little better, because the odds of like 50 photographers having your date available are pretty good. Same goes for DJs. DJs are a little bit more difficult because they are a dime a dozen. There are a lot of them. Everybody and their mom has a DJ turntable. You get it on Amazon for $50. Okay,
Yeah.
It's not difficult. So you want to make sure that you're asking extensive questions when it comes to a DJ company. So I would say, once you book your venue, photographer, videographer, ask your videographer if he has any DJ companies he'd like to recommend.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So before you go off shopping on DJs, ask your photographer, do you have any DJs that you, in the past, that you were like, wow, they were really good and they didn't mess up?
Yeah.
Do that. So
Especially if you have a videographer for your wedding day, like ask them, because they have to plug into the DJ system to
Right.
get like recordings of the speeches.
I
and
can only
everything.
get as good a sound as the DJ provides.
Right.
And then if I can't rely on the DJ, then I'm relying on backups. And backups, they're backups.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what else to say.
Like they don't record the sound right from the microphone. They record it like outside of the
Right.
microphone.
Because I don't bring the mics. The DJ brings the mics.
Right.
And I need to get unless I strap something to the mic that's being handed around, which by the way, I can't find my pen mic. I've lost that thing like 3 times.
You should put an AirTag on it.
The AirTag's too fat. It's literally like a little pen made by Sony. It's the
Yes.
best.
So like get a little Velcro strip and put a little AirTag on it, and take off the AirTag when you hand it to someone
Oh,
to record, and then put it back on when you put it back in your bag.
that's a good idea. Anyway,
I'm full of good ideas.
and the last one is photographers just take photos. I think after hearing us talk about this, you know that that's not all we do, but just being realistic with this, technically, we do run a business. Nobody's running this business for us. We're booking clients and we're negotiating prices. We're doing the marketing. We're doing the Instagram posts. Instagram is a job.
Yeah.
YouTube is a job.
Yeah.
Editing doesn't just come together. We're not just slapping things in templates. We're not just slapping filters. We don't use filters. It's you are taking a raw image and bringing out each individual color and piece of light to create an amazing piece of art.
Right.
Whereas in someone that's just posting on Instagram, like your mom or something, is like, oh, I like this filter. It gets rid of my acne. Like, that's...
Also, too, there are some really bad, like, I don't know. I personally think that photographers that have a passion and a love for photography and get really creative with shots are much more in love with photography and have a passion for it than people that go to school for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go to school for it, even though I have a passion and stuff. So there is the exception. But I am on this like Facebook group page of photographers, and there are so many photographers on there that post terrible pictures, and they think that they're great pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen those where they blot out somebody's face to the point where they look like a Barbie doll.
Or
Yeah,
like
it's-
very orange.
Yeah,
like
super
the
orange.
Oompa Loompas from Willy Wonka.
Yeah, some people don't even understand what skin tones are. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the most important thing when it comes to a photo is somebody's skin tones. That's really hard. I'm even not that good at it, but I strive to keep. That's why I strive to keep things as natural as possible.
Yeah.
Maybe perhaps like boosting contrast just a tiny bit to give you a little bit more dynamic range, but I mean not dynamic range, but depth of field, which sometimes contrast or crushing blacks can do that. Sorry, I'm going into technical terms. But again, that's an example of, we're not just taking photos. Taking the photo is very rarely do I show brides and grooms the shot that I just took off camera.
Yeah, I've maybe done it a handful of times in
Yeah.
our
And
type
it's
of business.
the only time I really do is when it's something insanely funny,
Mm-hmm.
or it looks amazing right off the camera.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't always happen.
Yeah, editing is a thing for a reason.
Yeah, editing.
Take out stop signs,
Yeah.
ugly signs, make it not crooked.
Or for me, when it comes to video, you're getting the best dynamic range when you're filming in vlog or flat. So the profile that I'm showing that's showing on camera is completely flat, and there is very, very minimal color in it.
Mm-hmm.
There's key colors, and then what I do in post is I add the color back in manually,
Mm-hmm.
and I do that with each individual clip, with each individual scene, and so I'm very rarely going to show you the flat image unless it's like a blooper or something.
Right.
Yeah, that's just or sometimes, I can get, it's a really insanely good shot, or I'm going to explain to you, hey, there's no color in this yet. Just keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, like, why is the image so flat? But that's all the points that I have. If you have some lies that you were told, we'd love for you to reach out to us. If you are a bride who either had a terrible experience or an amazing experience with vendors and you want to talk on our podcast, or if you are a vendor that wants to give some input and you have some value you want to provide for some brides, reach out to us. We'd love to have you as a guest on our podcast, because every vendor and every bride and groom have value to add if they so wish to add it.
Mm-hmm.
So be sure to follow at Broadside Visuals on Instagram.
Brideside.
Brideside.
Brideside. We're on the bride
I'm
side.
Mr. Brightside.
No, not bright, but bride. Bride side. I'm on the bride side.
Okay. Broadsidevisuals.com is where we display ourselves. That's where we get 99% of our clients is from our website. So we are active on Instagram for our brides and grooms, and just to stay relevant. And this is the one where we talk.
I have another question for you.
Are you serious?
Would you rather lose all of your money and valuables, or lose all the pictures you have ever taken?
Lose all my money and valuables.
Same.
Anyway, have a wonderful day.
Yeah, buddy.